Okay, so we're at step 6, and we've gone through all our other exercises have been at Liberty, and I like it, Liberty. I really do. One, it's safer, but one of the big things is he has to learn it on his own. I'm not forcing the issue by being tied to him, and so he's learning. If he's a wilder horse, he's learning to be with me. He's learning things that are that it's going to help him with his emotions and his aggressiveness or whatever that horse has going on. So today, what I want to teach him is how to lead. Now, in all these exercises, we go pretty quick, but don't go by that if you're starting a green horse, because it'll take you a little longer to do it than what you see here. And just remember, just take plenty of time. It's a process. It's a journey. It's definitely not a instant fix. So when I'm teaching a horse that knows how to lead basically, so when in other words, if I pull him along, he comes. Okay, so I've got him here, but I want him to lead better. In fact, what I want him to learn eventually is to lead without a halter on. So what I want him to do is I want his front of his face to be right at my shoulder. That way I can see both sides of me, and he knows where to be. I don't want him on my right side. What I do personally is on the right side of the horse, left side's the dog. That's just me. Okay, so anyway, the easiest thing, the first thing I teach is to back up. And so I'll take a step back and I'll hit the ground and say, hey. And so he should back up. And so then I'll ask him to go forward. And I'm not really teaching the forward right here. What I'm doing is I don't want him just to think always backwards. I always want to end a lesson with him going forward. So he thinks forward, so he comes to me. So in other words, I keep kind of fooling with that. And I say, hey, you kissed him, say, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. And that's what he should do. He should back up. And then I'll take a few steps forward. And I'll keep working that. And see, for him, that's an emotional exercise. See his head kind of go up? He's a little bit stressful. And he's showing that fear thing. So he needs to work through all that. So I asked him, I said, hey, you're a little bit far back. But that's okay, because that'll happen a lot of times when you're first teaching it. We're going to fix that and to go forward in the next video next week. Y'all stay tuned. All right, so on the last video we talked about leading, and all we really worked on was backing up, and that's a good thing in the fact that it's going to help teach your horse not to bump into you as much. He's going to respect your space a little bit better. It won't be great, but it'll be better. This one, if you notice on the last video, he went a little too far back, and so this time we're going to correct it, and we want him to get forward. Now, what he probably will do when I ask him to go forward, he'll probably zip past me. But you just kind of keep working it and getting it better and better, and telling him he did a great job, and his mistakes get less, and he'll just do better. So let's get started. We'll start out warming up with a little bit of a backup. So he kind of figured that out, so man, you did great. Okay, now when I do his forward, I want to step back and look over my left shoulder. And I may raise my whip a little bit just to let him know that I was taking some steps. There you go. He's a little bit far on me. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of mix them up. And I'm going to ask him to go back a little bit and then go forward. So I'm going to take, again, I'm going to ask him to go forward, but I'm going to take and look at his hip, but I'm going to go over my left shoulder and look at that hip, and he's going to move. And if he didn't move, I just take my whip and say, hey, work it on around. So I take a few steps forward. Come on. So for twist here, not for all horses, but for twist here, it's a little bit of an emotional exercise. He's getting excited with it a little bit more than he should, but that's okay. That means it's going to help him with his emotions. So mistakes are just learning opportunities. That's all they are. And I'll keep on asking. A little back, and then go forward. Hey, where's the hips? So you'll see a horse that has this much fear, a little bit over-exaggerate things. No big deal. We work through it. We're just going to have a better trail horse at the end. That's what we're all after. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you next Sunday.